Look at that. That is proper old school cooking. How soft is this, look? Look in there. That is old school at its best. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're talking braised steak, old-fashioned braised steak, old school recipe. Very simple ingredients and we're going to braise the steak. The only difference is I'm going to tell you about in a tray, in an Instant Pot. There's one change of ingredient and two different timings. Now I will not be using the tray, I will be using the Instant Pot to cook it shorter. In here I have chuck steaks. And these, as you can see, are a good inch thick. A good inch. Now with a recipe like this, it is old school and there's nothing much to it. So I've already peeled my carrots and we want to be dicing them. We're going to dice up some carrot, dice some onion, mince some garlic. That is all it's about. And then what you would do, you would serve up with mashed potato or peas or anything, crusty bread, entirely up to you. Okay, so let's just dice these carrots. Big as small as you like, as usual. In that tub. Garlic, usual, just give it a little bit of a mincing over, as big or as small as you like. Come on. Done. Onion. Again, dice your onion as big as small as you like. That's our prep. That is that easy. Okay, veggies prepped. Now all we've got to do is salt and pepper this chuck. And it's a good salt and peppering, and we're going to give it a good sear in a pan. On there, salt. Pepper. Turn it over, do the other side. Okay, we're good to go. Bring in a pan. Now it's a straightforward one. We're in there with a little bit of oil, okay, and we want a really golden, deep sear on this meat. We're going to sear it up, we're going to take it out. So what I'll do is I'll take it from there and I'll put it in that tray just to show you what we're doing. Get a good heat in this pan. It's take that in there. So we're going to have to do in twos. We'll do those two and then we'll do that last one. Okay, when you've had a minute or so on that side, let's be turning it. That's what we're talking. We want that colour. That is a deep sear. Same on this side. Then it comes out. That's our flavour. That's our flavour on our meat when it's braised. Now the thing is, for chuck roast, it is a tough old piece of meat. However, braised, it gives a fantastic flavour and it's buttery soft, you know. It just crumbles away and it has a really delicious beef flavour. Old school cuts of meat, people forget these days. They all want to go for a little bit of a sirloin or something. But these old recipes like this, which were very common and I grew up with them, served with mashed potatoes and a nice beefy gravy. Excellent. Eat it with crusty bread. Okay, when you've had a couple of minutes or a minute, depending how long you want to go, we got a nice crust on there. Out it comes into this tray. And we want just a little bit of oil in there. That last one in there. Okay, when you've got some colour on the other side, that comes out of there as well. Oh yeah. Right, like I say, I'm putting it in a tray, so I'm reaching over a hot pan, which is stupid. Don't do this at home. I'm just putting it in that tray for a minute, and what we'll do is we'll just cook off the onions and stuff in here. Okay, a little bit more oil. Doesn't have to be screaming hot for this, and all that fond on the bottom will come off. In there with your onions, in there with your carrots. Nice and steady. A little bit of golden on there. Now this is exactly the same as you would do. It doesn't matter if you're cooking in a tray or cooking in the Instant Pot. You've still got to start this off like this. And that fond's off the bottom of there already, look. Right, we're going to hit that with a little bit of pepper. And a tiny amount of salt. You don't need much, we just want to bring out that moisture. Give this a little couple of minutes and we're in with the garlic. Clear yourself for space and in there with your garlic. Little 30 seconds on that garlic and then turn it all in. In it goes. Want to be going in there with some tomato paste, a good tablespoon. Stir it in and we want to cook off the rawness of this tomato paste for about a minute. In there, dry thyme. Just give that a little minute in there. Well, it won't be a minute. Just stir that through. And then we're going to add some flour. Now you want a good couple of tablespoons of flour in here. Stir it through. Start to cook it off. Okay, we want to be introducing our beef stock. And this thing is going to thicken. This is the difference between cooking with that tray and the Instant Pot. In the tray, you will be using about 1.25 litres, 1.25 litres of beef stock. Using the Instant Pot, we're using about 3/4 litre, 750 millilitres. Give it a little stir around. We want to be going in there with some Worcester sauce. Get your old Worcester in there. Now you can use Henderson's if you like, that's up to you. And we want to be chucking in there a bay leaf. There you go. Now that is our bog standard flavour for our old school type braised steak. The old recipe. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, bring in the Instant Pot. Now bring back in our seared steak. Got a good sear on there, look. Now what you would do, if you were going to cook this in the oven, you would cook it 160, 170 for 2.5 hours. You would put that in there, mix it all up so it's all in there around your meat. You would take some foil, you would cover it. Like I say, cook in there for a heck of a long time. What we're doing, we're using the Instant Pot. So out with the liner. Now what we're going to do is put some of that in there and then some of that on and mix it until it goes in. And we'll get the 3 steaks sitting in there. So it's very straightforward, isn't it? Come on. We want some of that juice in there like that. Get one of those in there. Oh yeah. Like that. We're going to chuck on some more of that on top of there. Like that. We're going to take another one of those. Like that. Plus our juices. We're going to put some more of that in there like that. I'm going to take this one like this. That's going in there like that. In there. Grab your lid. I'm stood the wrong way around, but not to worry. Lid on. So we need to press this until we get to normal, and then we're going 50 minutes. That's it. We leave it to pressure cook 50 minutes and then natural release for 15 minutes, and we're ready to go. Okay, we've had our 15 minutes. We can naturally pressure release. Just flicks the switch and wait for the plunger to go down. What I will point out when cooking with the Instant Pot, sometimes the gravy is not thick inside there and you might have to thicken it up. Now you can put that on saute and thicken it in there, or you can take the gravy out and put it in a pan and thicken it. It's up to you. Cooking in the oven, the gravy thickens up as it evaporates out in the oven. This is all contained, so you get more fluid. There we go. On there, just a little bit of that gravy. On there, that braised steak. Oh yes, please. In there. That is proper old school cooking. Look at that. How soft is this, look? Look in there. That is old school at its best. There we go. Old school braised steak. Doesn't require anything else. Oh. Come on. I absolutely love braised steak. Oh man, that is so tender. A sensational beef flavour, and it's just like butter. Oh man, that's good. That is incredible. Incredible. Just sometimes you've got to revert back to the old school recipes. Braised steak, done. There you go. That is a classic, an easy one. Share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make braised steak. You know, in the oven, 2.5 hours. In the Instant Pot, 50 minutes. There you go. A classic. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and we'll catch you in the next video. Oh yeah. Just can't get enough of these old recipes.